The mayor of Arlington, Texas, Mayor Jim Ross, is a very unstable man. And it's unbelievable what he did. When you see the video that just came out, Vice News was recording at the Southern Decadence Festival in New Orleans in 2018, so 7 years ago. Then, I don't think he was the mayor then. But the current mayor of Arlington, Jim Ross, goes up to the faces of Christian protesters. They were protesting against the Southern Decadence Festivals. Their right to do it. They were not being violent. They weren't threatening anybody. They were, holding up their signs or whatever. Some of which I very well may not agree with at all. But here comes the now mayor of Arlington, Jim Ross, to scream in the face. By the way, this is all thanks to the Dallas Express, DallasExpress.com. They broke this story. So here it is, video from Vice News, recently discovered. The current mayor of Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys and the Rangers play, etc. A large city of maybe what, 250,000, 280,000, somewhere between 230,000 and 280,000, maybe even 300 plus. Here he is yelling in the face of a protester at the Southern Decadence Festival, appearing to be drunk, out of control, threatening, menacing, intimidating, and saying vile things. Vile things. You'll hear it right here.
I believe that y'all can have free speech. I'm down with that. But this is some hateful shit, and I'm a heterosexual guy. You stand out here like you're a badass motherfucker, hoping somebody fucking starts some shit. But I'm here hoping you do.
I'm hoping you do. So he's in the face of a protester. I'm hoping you do. He's screaming in the guy's face, right in his face, menacing, huge guy, this mayor of Arlington.
You do. Not gonna happen. You punk motherfucker. Oh, no, we got somebody, bro. You don't think anal sex is good, do you? No, it's not the purpose. Have you ever fucked your old lady in the ass? Who would do that? I fucked your old lady in the ass. That's why you're here with him.
That is the current mayor of Arlington, Texas, according to the Dallas Express, and this also was reported in the Daily Mail online. This has gone international. Screaming at a guy, threatening him, menacing him, and then saying, "I bleeped your mother in the ass." Excuse my language. This is a vile, vile man with vile things in his heart. Out of the heart comes the overflow. Excuse me. Out of your mouth comes the overflow of your heart, is what the Bible says. This freaking guy is filled with bile and venom and sick thoughts. And I don't care if he was intoxicated. What do they call alcohol? It's a truth serum. I'm not here to play holier than thou, by the way. I'm just as broken and as messed up as this guy is, as any one of us is. But this guy cannot be the mayor of any town. He must resign now. Let me play the rest of this. It's a little hard to discern because this is at this thing. It looked like it's in, it was in New Orleans, so it looked like it was on the Strip, Bourbon Street, I should say, screaming in the faces. Now what he's going to do is, after yelling in this guy's face, saying vile things about him and his mother, he's going to go around him and then grab a bullhorn and scream at some guys he sees, and then he comes around like a thug, like one of these drunken thug guys who's going to beat the crap out of anybody he doesn't like. A vile brute now goes up to the face of two men and is like looking at them, trying to get them to fight him. This is a bad dude right here. And this guy has no business being the mayor of Arlington or anywhere.
Language. Hey, shut your ass! Hey, shut your ass, you little piece of shit! You want to talk shit? Where are you from? These people are out here having a good fucking time, enjoying life. They don't come to your stupid redneck church and fucking talk shit. You come out here, you pussy motherfucker.
This guy, he sounds like some, like Axl Rose in what was that album? I think it was I don't was it it was not GNR A for D, Appetite for Destruction. I think it was Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And he what's his name? Axl Rose goes, F you, Bob Mangione, and you're ripping off these kids with the hard-earned magazines. He sounds like a rock star, totally intoxicated, swearing and threatening people because he's an out-of-control rock star. This guy can't be a politician. This guy can't be a dog catcher. So, and by the way, Dallas Express reached out to him, no comment. I believe the Daily Mail reached out to him, no comment. This guy, and this came out, I think, Friday at some point in the afternoon. So we're going to see what happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but this guy's got to get out. No question. You can't have an out of control, threatening man saying vile, sick things to people like this. He's out of control. He's like a thug in high school that was on a football team or some guy that everybody's afraid of because he's just a dumb, brute thug. That's what this guy is.
Fuck you, pussy.
So he takes the bullhorn, he's screaming at him, threatening things, F you this, and then he throws it down or puts it down, and then he goes after the guy. This is what happened in high school. This is what people that you and I knew in high school, whether we're at parties, it'd be some guy's out of control. Like, whoa, everybody's afraid of him. He's nuts. He's crazy. This is the mayor of Arlington. This is insane.
Fuck you, pussy.
This is the kind of crap you did in high school or at a college party.
Hey, what the fuck you want to do?
He's still in the faces of two men menacing them, ready to fight him. Over what? They're at a Southern Decadence thing, it's a gay pride thing, I guess. And then you got some people that are Christian protesting, and this guy can't handle that. He can't handle that. And I don't care if he's drunk or not. He better not even echo that as an excuse. But alcohol, as I was getting to earlier, is a truth serum. It's truth serum. Have a couple beers, people start telling more than they want to tell you, or they should tell you.
I'll take this motherfucker up, beat you with him.
The mayor of Arlington, Texas, his actions are that of a thug. The mayor of Arlington, Texas is a thug and a drunkard. If everything that we're seeing in here and every report and all these videos are reported as accurate, then that's exactly what it is. And we'll see how this plays out. All right, let's get on to the biggest story in the nation, and in Texas, or of course I'm at in DFW, the redistricting fight. Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, the fake Mexican, who is not a real drummer, who is not a real skateboarder. That's according to my former executive producer, David, who I'm still very good friends with. David's a real skateboarder. David's a real, still to this day, at 52 years of age, he has a little half-pipe thing he built, and plays drums like all the time, and was in a band, opened for Toad the Wet Sprocket, back in the day. So, he's at that level. He's like, this guy can't drum to save his life. This guy can't skate to save his life. He's a poser. He's also a cultural appropriator. But here he is going, saying stupid things and saying GD. Those are great things you want to say if you want to be a politician. Well, I guess the Democrat Party, you can say those things. But anyways, he's excited. He's excited. Here we go. Here's Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator.
Next time we win power, we're going to drive.
We win power.
Drive that car like we.
Yeah, I'll start over.
Next time we win power, we're going to drive that car like we stole it. We're going to legalize every dreamer's parents, every hardworking American doing backbreaking work that makes.
You're going to legalize a hardworking American? Anyways, he looks at illegals as Americans.
Breaking work that makes this country so goddamn great in the first place, even greater as U.S. citizens.
He is such a rock star. He's almost there. He's so close, but he just can't win an election. Oh, we're so sorry. This guy needs to do what he does here where he belongs. Move to my home city of Chicago. You'll raise up the ranks. You can be governor in a few years, dude. So there he goes. There's Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the latest. By the way, I want to thank Brian Harrison, state rep. He came on my show when I was filling in for Chicago, AM 560, The Answer Chicago. He was on. In fact, I have a little audio from that. I'll play it for you. This is, give me a sec to pull it up on my Twitter feed. I didn't have it ready, but I realized I should. So he retweeted this out. The audio is not as good as the actual audio from the show was, but it's a little bit overmodulated or something, but I'll play it for you so you can hear it yourself. This is Brian Harrison, state representative on my show when I was filling in for Dan Proft on AM 560, Chicago's Morning Answer. Where are you? There you are, right here. Brian. First of all, you kicked the crap out of two fake news CNN anchors when you pulled out that map and you showed the finger going across the state of Illinois with a jerry-rigged district. You showed those turds in CNN exactly why Illinois is literally one of the absolute top 2 or top 3 offenders in the entire country for rigging everything. Pritzker lied and said he wouldn't do any redistricting. He would have an independent panel in 2018 when he was running. He lied again in 2021 twice, and then he said, "Oh, let's rig it." Brian, I want you to deliver a message. You have a message that I have been hoping you would be able to deliver now that you're on in Chicago, which is fantastic. I want you to tell Governor Pritzker, what message do you have for Governor Pritzker this morning?
You're a hypocrite, a liar, a fraud, and a fake, and the epitome of projection and faux fake outrage. Give me a break. The only thing that you, Governor Pritzker, might actually be, qualified to talk about, ironically, is how to gerrymander a state. So I guess there is some rationality to my cowardly Democrat colleagues coming and hiding behind you. But yeah, you're a fraud and a hypocrite. And here's the reality, Governor Pritzker. You have no problem whatsoever with states redrawing their lines to maximize partisan political advantage. The truth is, the dirty little secret, you're only angry because it's a Republican game and trying to fight as hard for the future as, sadly, the Democrats here in Texas are. So the reality is you're a hypocrite. You have no problem with partisan redistricting. You're just pissed off that it's a Republican state doing it. You phony, you fraud, you hack.
Now, Texas State Rep Brian Harrison from North Texas, where I'm sitting, I'd like for you to share your message with the cowardly Democrats, your colleagues from the Texas State House, who have fled the state of Texas like cowards and ran. What is your message to them today, as the overwhelming majority of them who fled are in the state of Illinois, in the Chicagoland area, perhaps listening this morning?
Yeah, get your cowardly, hypocritical ass back home. You ran for office. Nobody made you run for office. You asked people to vote for you. You've got hundreds of thousands of Texans that elected you to do a job. You swore an oath to the Constitution. Get on a plane, get on a bus, get on a train. I don't really care. Get your hypocritical, self-righteous, fake outrage ass back to the Capitol in the state of Texas so we can get back about doing the will of the people, of the voters of the great state of Texas who we were elected to serve.
Brian, I want to ask you this too. We know that the Texas Rangers and the Sergeant at Arms at the House have been ordered to find, arrest, and bring in the cowardly Democrats who have fled. I want to ask you this. We know the FBI have been asked by John Cornyn, who will be replaced by Ken Paxton, thankfully, not too distant future, but John Cornyn, particularly in a stunt to try to look like he's like a Ken Paxton, wrote a letter to the FBI. Kash Patel said, yes, I will honor your request. We will work with you to hunt down the Democrats. At least it seems that way. What is the extent of the cooperation with the FBI that you're aware of right now? And is it possible they might show up today, tomorrow, the next day at the hotel that they're at in Chicagoland and, cuff them and stuff them?
Well, I think it's possible. I was glad to see my former colleague, Kash Patel. We both were cabinet chiefs of staff together in President Trump's first administration. So I was thrilled to see my former colleague, Kash Patel, commit to lend some resources from the FBI with this effort. I support it. I actually called for that almost a week ago when we first got word of the quorum break. I called on Governor Abbott to immediately reach out to federal law enforcement partners. I actually kind of think one of the headlines is, why did it take Senator Cornyn to do it? Why weren't the state elected leadership in Texas on the phone to the FBI faster than they were? But, so they could do it. We will see. I think a lot of them might be leaving Illinois to head out to California. I think they've scheduled a press conference with Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I don't know how. I am not. The hit parade of Democrat losers, they're jet setting from Illinois to California is my understanding. I don't know if it's all of them or some of them, but yeah, I think at 4 p.m. Central Time, Newsom, Pelosi, and my cowardly colleagues from the Texas House Democrat Caucus will be doing a press conference in Sacramento today. But one thing that I just got to hit, and I won't dwell on this too long, but the Democrats are to blame, and they should be, punished, and they should be arrested. But also to blame, we can't escape this, is the weak establishment Republicans in the Texas government that assisted the quorum break by allowing the Democrats to leave when we were on the floor with the quorum, with the maps a week ago Wednesday, and our Rhino speaker released the Democrats to go meet with Hakeem Jeffries, who had flown down from D.C. That was just last week. So the reality is, this is as much of an abject failure on the part of weak establishment Republicans that have controlled the Austin, Texas government for far too long, as it is a story about the Democrats. I would be remiss if I didn't point that out. If Texas had bolder Republican leadership, this quorum break never would have happened, and quite frankly, it would have been ended by now, because Texas Republicans have all the tools they need to force the Democrats back. I don't want to give the Democrats more credit than they're due here.
Okay, here's a big one. I heard Governor Abbott say yesterday that there's at least 12, there's more than 12 Democrats hiding out in Texas that have fled. And he says that Texas Rangers are investigating that. Are you aware? Because my envisionment is that possibly 12 or more Democrat Texas legislature members are hiding on, and they're under surveillance, perhaps by the Texas Rangers. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, I have not been able to independently prove this, but what I am hearing, what I am told from sources I do trust in the Texas government, is that yes, there are multiple Democrats that are still within the borders of the state of Texas. And if that is true, if we come to find out that that is true, that will be an indefensible dereliction of duty of the Texas government, who knew they were in Texas and failed to arrest them. So if we find out that these Democrats were in fact holed up within the state of Texas, where there is no question whatsoever about our jurisdiction or authority to arrest them, if they're not being arrested, that's just another black eye on the Republican leadership in Texas.
Do you have any confidence that they will do that?
I mean, I do not know, and the reason I am very hesitant on that to say that is because as of now, we're officially 5 days into this. We're really like 8 or 9, if you count when the speaker, our Rhino speaker, released them last Wednesday.
Yeah.
We've had 5 days, okay? And we've had nothing come out of the elected Republican leadership in the state of Texas for the sternly worded letters and firmly worded press statements and really bold tweets. We have had no action that is tangible of any kind whatsoever to punish these Democrats. You know what? My voters are sick and tired of weak establishment Republicans who don't do anything other than go on Fox News and talk tough, but don't actually do anything. Texans want results. They want actions. They don't want words. And unfortunately, all we've had come out of the leadership of the state of Texas is words.
I'm hearing Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, is financing this. We have 15 seconds. Tell me what you know about that, and can we tag and bag him for what he's doing?
That has been alleged, and I think our Attorney General's office said they plan to investigate that. And look, if there's bribery or anything like that, that should absolutely be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But the reality is we have lots and lots and lots, and so we should do that. I fully support it. But we have lots and lots of tools that could force the Democrats back right now if we wanted to use it, like strip them of their chairmanships, defund their offices. Hell, we haven't even taken their parking spots away. But the governor could threaten to veto all their bills if they don't. So there's lots of things we could be doing, but that we aren't. But the Democrats are hypocrites. Democrats have been gerrymandering their states for over a decade. Republican states have actually been very slow to the redistricting fight to do what the voters in their states want. So Texas should do this. Quite frankly, Texas should have done it by now. And if to any of my colleagues still listening in Illinois, hiding behind Governor Pritzker, get your ass home.
Brian Harrison, Texas Congress Representative, Northern Texas. God bless you. Thank you for that fire in your belly. Love you. I'm grateful you were able to come on in Chicago this morning.
Great to be with you, my friend. God bless you all.
We love it. All right. Wasn't that great? I didn't mean to play that, but I'm like, what am I doing? Play it. So there we go. And that was retweeted by Brian Harrison himself, Texas Representative Brian Harrison from North Texas. He's a great guy. I've had him on my show when I was in terrestrial radio locally. But let me get into this, too. There's more on... Oh, and before I forget, we're going to rewind real fast. I want to make sure that I show you this. This is a picture. We started out the show by showing you or playing video or audio of the Arlington mayor. According to the Dallas Express, DallasExpress.com, Arlington Mayor Jim Ross, that recording I played for you, and also the Daily Mail reported it. That's the mayor of Arlington saying vile things. Here's the picture of him in the face of the preacher. So there he is with his beer in his hand at the Southern Decadence Festival, apparently in New Orleans in 2018, in the face of this guy. See how he's hulking over this guy, and he would say vile things about his mother and anal sex with his mother, just sick things. The mayor would, and then would turn around and grab a megaphone and scream at some other guys nearby, and they would just move the put the megaphone down and go into their faces, want to fight with him. He's a vile, some vile problems there in his heart. Okay, now let's continue on with the redistricting stuff. I apologize, but I wanted to get that picture, and I should have got it at the beginning. So Speaker Dustin Burrows is absolutely, as you heard Brian Harrison say, Texas Rep Brian Harrison, state representative. He's a rhino. And there's so much more he and the Republicans could be doing to bring these Democrats home. There are some things happening. First of all, Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against former Congressman Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, and his organization because they've been financing all this, including a $17,000 jet to fly the liberal Democrats, the Texas Democrats fleeing, the cowardly Democrats, in a nice jet. But Paxton accused O'Rourke and his group of illegally fundraising to pay for Democrats to leave Texas to break quorum. So Paxton wants to make examples out of those who fight so that others won't. It says the court has issued a temporary restraining order against O'Rourke and Powered by People late Friday. That's his organization. So there's been a TRO against O'Rourke. So also they are fining the Democrats, $500 per day. I'm sure you've heard they might lose. And this is from WFA TV channel 8. They might lose their seniority, parking spots, and chairmanships. That absolutely should have been happened already. All right, and they might lose their seats, but I think that's a long shot. But they should also go for that. That's another thing being discussed. Okay, let's move on to Big Boy, BOI, JB Pritzker. I call him Big Boy. He is Big Boy. Get that a Russian accent. Oh, the governor of the Illinois, he is Big Boy. BOI, Big Boy. Here is Big Boy getting his butt handed to him by Kristen Welker, NBC News, fake news leftist journalist Kristen Welker, holds Big Boy's butt, hands him his ass, excuse me, but I got to just say it the easy way.
Every major group that grades the fairness of congressional maps gives your state an F. Common Cause, a nonpartisan government watchdog, even says your map, and I'm going to quote, represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting. And I guess the question is, you talk about preserving democracy. How do you preserve democracy if you're using the same tactics that you've criticized Texas Republicans for?
But as I say, what they're talking about is a distraction.
Princeton nonpartisan gives him an F for his redistricting. Everybody and their brother gives him an F. It's all a joke. It's super jerry-rigged. It's so jerry-rigged that he and most Democrats, like in Boston, where there's zero Republican congressmen or congresswomen, zero, even though they're like 33% of the vote was for Trump. It's all rigged. Same thing in New York. They can barely redistrict anything because they've redistricted it to the hilt. Florida can redistrict, and they're looking at it. Indiana's looking at it, or Indiana, as I like to say. Ohio has already been looking at it, and I think that's going to happen there. Texas. And by the way, I think I shared this with you, but I must share it again. Very important. The reason why Harmeet Dillon, we follow each other on Twitter. She is the number 2, one of the top people at the Justice Department. She's Assistant Attorney General under Pam Bondi for U.S. Office of Civil Rights. She sent a letter telling Texas, you better, and Trump said it too, you better redistrict. And the reason why, the impetus for this is a U.S. Appellate Court decision in 2024, last year, that said you cannot count a majority minority district if you cobble together 2 different minorities to make it a majority district. It has to be one minority. So it has to be over 50% black or over 50% Hispanic. Then it's majority minority. You can't say it's 25 black, 26% Hispanic, put it together. Oh, it's a majority minority district. That is not how the law works. And that's the court decision last year from the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. And so what does that mean? And the only court above that is the Supreme Court. What does that mean? That means Texas has 5 districts it must redistrict because they're not majority minority. So, and I mentioned this to you before, Texas, it has a 10-point spread between how many people voted for Trump and how many people are represented in the Congress, U.S. Congress for Republicans. Illinois has like a 38-point spread, so like four times uh, greater of a spread of all the Democrats have the seats and very few Republicans have seats. So they're four times worse than we are. And after we redistrict, I think we'll still be 17 percentage points better of a spread, closer together for as parity than Illinois, excuse me, which is Chicago basically. New York, same thing. California, same thing. So it's a joke. It's a disgrace. I wanted to get to this too. Zorhan Mandami is a member of the Democrat Socialists of America. They had their annual conference, and at the annual conference called Socialism 2025, he is the rock star. They were just supercharged about him. It was all about him because he's a member of their party, Democrat Socialists of America. Now, on their platform, they had their conference in Chicago last month. They did victory laps over Mondami's June win. Here's some of the things reported by the New York Post. We argue for the abolition of the family in general. We argue for the abolition of the family in general and say the institution of the family acts as part of the carceral system in that it reinforces children as property. We're not allowed to own our own children. We're not allowed, to be in possession of our own children. We're not allowed to have families. Families are bad. Just like Black Lives Matter, they're Marxist, anti-God, anti-family, anti-nuclear family. When we talk about family abolition, we're talking about the abolition of the economic unit. It's a horizon in which all of our material needs are taken care of by the collective. Socialism. Government is our God. Government is our family. Dad, mom, no. This is communism, which is also socialism. And here's the question for this country, for the city of New York and its voters, and for this country, but particularly city of New York voters for now. Are we stupid enough? And I say we as in a collective people. Are we stupid enough? Are we ignorant enough to not know about socialism? Well, it hasn't been taught much in our public schools and our colleges, universities, other than brainwashing people to think that's great. Continuing on, they said one of the other things they said on their platform, their socialist meeting this year with the Democrat Socialists of America, which is Orhan Mandami is the poster boy now for them and member. The only real difference between marriage and prostitution, they say, is the price and duration of the contract. So they literally look at marriage as prostitution. So this is absolutely the antithesis of being godly. This is anti-God. This is anti-God's plan. Don't get married. Don't stay in a committed marriage, monogamous, and honor that. And don't raise your children in a two-parent loving family household, which means your child will be less likely to drop out of high school, drop out of college, or more likely to go to college, less likely to be on drugs, less likely to go to prison at all. It goes on and on. So that is what his party stands for, and that's where this is taking us if we are too stupid and too ignorant to know what socialism is and where it leads us to. Last but not least, this is great. Up the creek, writes Jonathan Turley in his column, the George Washington University law professor and Fox News contributor. Up the creek, media outlets criticized for false story on J.D. Vance. So you probably heard that supposedly Cincinnati area, the Ohio River, they raised the river for J.D. Vance when he would go kayaking for safety because the Secret Service wanted it. The Colbert Show, the Guardian reported this, but lied. The Guardian lied and said it was J.D. Vance and his request. It was not J.D. Vance's request. He had no idea about it whatsoever. The Secret Service team went ahead, like they always do in an advanced team. They check everything out to make sure he doesn't get shot and killed. And they determined that when the Secret Service was paddling on it, doing a dry run as if they were with J.D. Vance, their kayaks hit the ground because it was too shallow. And you can't have the president sitting there stuck in a kayak, vulnerable and unable to do anything, and sitting there for God knows how long. So they said raise the level. It's a must do, not because J.D. Vance even knew about it, because we, the Secret Service, said this is how he's going to be safe. And he's allowed to go kayaking. Thank you very much. So that didn't stop the Stephen Colbert and his show from lying, saying "insaled," calling it the insane spoiled baby emperor move. Totally not true. Guardian admitted that the Guardian did admit in the story, they said that it could not confirm the allegation. So there was no confirmation, but Stephen Colbert said it was true. All sorts of different people said it was true, and it wasn't. So here, what else do we got? The New Republic had a headline saying J.D. Vance abused power to raise river levels for a family kayaking trip. Totally false, as I've told you. It goes on and on and on. Oh, Hillary Clinton, by the way, she got nailed too. She was spreading another false story. that Jonathan Tully chronicled here. Hillary Clinton spread another false story. After the White House announced the start of construction for a new ballroom, Clinton posted a false story that spread over the internet all over. Project being funded by taxpayers, she said, when citizens can't afford groceries. Spending $200 million. So Hillary Clinton, she was back spreading another false story, says Jonathan Turley. After the White House announced the start of construction for a new ballroom, we all know about that, Clinton posted a false story that then spread all over the internet. He says she claimed the ballroom project, is being funded by taxpayers when citizens can't afford groceries. This poor idiot. Actually, she probably knows the truth, but she spread the lie on purpose. Spending $200 million of taxpayer money, she says. Anyways, total lie. And she's never taken down her false claim and never apologized or anything like that. And those are the people that want to censor us for disinformation and misinformation. I don't think so.